Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel, Peter Likes Books. And I have been writing down, I feel like it's like every other day, I'm like, oh, that's a great idea for a video over here, or, oh, that's a great idea for a video. That's a great idea. It's shaking, bacon, I help. That's a great idea for a video over here. And then I never make the video. I never make the video over here. No, but like I have this list of BookTube videos that I've been wanting to make. Some of them are discussions. I want to do this video talking about Colleen Hoover. I don't know why. I actually saw Caleb Joseph did a great video about Colleen Hoover, and there were like 2 other people that did whole videos about Colleen Hoover. I am so intrigued, you guys. I just have to say this. I am so intrigued by this this draw that Colleen Hoover has right now. Like, I really do not understand it. And in fact, I have to tell you, my friend Jana and I, we got into quite a little bit of a heated debate last night. And we were talking and I said, so what are you reading right now? And she said, I'm reading this Colleen Hoover book. And I said, well, which one are you reading? As before it started, as it was going on, or before it ended, or, you know, because it's that. And she started laughing and she goes, no, it's like one of her first ones. I'm going back and I'm reading like her first books. And I said, oh, and she was like, she said, how many of hers have you read? And I said, I think I only read that one. And she said, well, it was Verity, but she didn't call it Verity. I can't remember what she said. And I go, Verity, Tanya Jean? She goes, yes, Verity. And I said, I don't understand this whole thing with Colleen Hoover, and I don't understand why you love her so much. And she goes, well, one of the reasons why I like her books are fast reads. She goes, I can get real attached to the characters. And she said most of her books have like 2 parts. Like there's a first and a second book to most of her books. And I didn't know that, okay? And so I said, oh, and I said, but aren't they like kind of like problematic? Because I've heard a lot about Colleen Hoover books by people that don't like her saying that they're problematic, and it's a lot about like, kind of, there's a lot of talking about, you know, a lot of abuse and violence and things like that in the books. And she was like, no, she goes, no, I don't know that I think that that's true. And she goes, in fact, some of the books almost kind of seem like borderline young adult to me. I'm like, whose young adult are you reading, Tanya Jean? She goes, listen, I love Colleen Hoover. She goes, she was living in a trailer park with her husband or somebody when she like got famous. And she goes, and I'm wondering, like, as Tanya Jean is telling me about her love for Colleen Hoover living in this trailer park, that it could happen to anybody. I'm kind of wondering if that's part of the draw, right? Because I said, have you seen her? Like, because I had like seen some interviews and stuff that she had done, and she's like, oh yeah, she was just like this, you know, middle-aged woman that was living in a trailer park or something like that. And she's real nice, and she started writing these books, and they just got like really super popular, and now she obviously isn't living in a trailer park anymore. And I kind of wonder if that's not a little bit of the appeal for her, you know, is like, she's like the empowered woman, so to speak, which I think that's great, you know, like I support that all day long. But I'm very intrigued by this whole like Colleen Hoover deal that's going on right now in the world, that people just are loving her books. So if you are one of those people, can you put it in the comment section below and kind of explain it to me a little bit? But I plan on reading, I at least want to read the latest 2. I think it's called like It Started With Us and It Ended With Us or something like that. But that's kind of on my TBR, which will be one of my other videos this week. That's kind of on my TBR for later, not next month, because I've got other books that I want to read this month and next month. But anyway, today, so that's one of the videos that I wanted to make. But I've got like all these videos. Like I'm sitting there and I'll be thinking and I'll be like, oh, that would be a great video for BookTube. And then I like put it in my notes app, because I've got a whole notes app that's called like BookTube videos, right? So today I want to talk about my Goodreads, what do you call it? My Goodreads goal or challenge for 2023. And part of the reason why I'm doing this, I know that people can go in and they can, what do you call it? They can like look at my profile and they can see my challenge and listen, go in there, see it. I don't really care. You know, look at all of my stuff. I like, to be honest with you, Goodreads is probably one place, like right now, oh my God, I have so many requests. I mean, constantly, every time, I don't know if you can see this, but every time I go into Goodreads, I have so many requests for friends. And I literally, like right here, I just like, well, here, Goodreads is kind of tricky. Like you have to be very careful, like how you touch the green check mark. But literally, I go in and I just, anybody that requests me to be their friend on Goodreads, I just add them. because I think it's such a friendly place and I love Goodreads. So anyway, I'm going through here right now and I'm just like adding everybody that has friend requested me. And I get so many friend requests on Goodreads. It's like crazy to me. I'm like, how did you find me on here? So anyway, so please go look at my challenge and keep me accountable and things like that. But here's the thing. In the past couple years, I have like really lifted these goals up because I really wanted to try to read as much as possible. So let me just kind of give you an example, all right? So, well, we all know that last year I did not do so great, okay, because I just kind of stopped reading. So in past challenges. Okay, so in 2022, I set a goal of 104. Well, I guess I should go back. So 2016 was the year that I started on Booktube, and I have to tell you what is interesting about 2015 and 2016. So, well, I guess it was 2014 was the year that I was writing my book, and a friend of mine that kind of gave me the idea for my book, because she was one of my friends in high school. She's actually one of the friends that I modeled the female character. That was my friend, not my friend, but Danny's friend. Danny was kind of modeled after me, but Cher in my book was kind of modeled after this friend of mine. And so she and I were talking at the time, and she was like, are you on Goodreads? And I go, what's Goodreads? I had no idea what Goodreads was. So 2015 is the first year that I actually signed up to Goodreads and I did the challenge. And I set my goal for 55 books and I ended up reading 33. The following year, or that was 2014, that was the year I wrote my book. The following year, 2015, I set my goal for 30 because I wanted to be a little bit more realistic. And I ended up reading 36. The third year, which was the first year that I was on Booktube, I set my goal for 40 books, and I ended up reading 54. The fourth year, which was 2017, I set my goal for 100 books, which I really, really, really wanted to get to 100 books. I don't know if you remember me talking that much about it, but I ended up reading 68. 2018 was not a great year for Peter on reading books. I set my goal for 101 books because I thought I'll set it one more than I had the year before and really hit 100. And I ended up reading 47 books. 2019, I set my goal for 100 books. I went back one and I ended up reading 40 books. 2020, I set my goal for 100 books and I read exactly 100 books. And I can remember like down to the wire finishing it. And then 2021, I set my goal for 2 more than 100. So I set it for 102 and I actually read 110. That was like a powerhouse year for me. And then 2022, I had set my goal for 2 more than that, 104, because I was on this really good, like, reading, I was just, like, powerhouse reading and listening to audiobooks and things like that, and so I set my goal for 104, and I ended up only reading 14 books last year. So that leaves, what do I want to do with 2023? And I think I've talked about this in like previous videos that I've done, but I've been thinking about like changing the goal, but I don't think I'm going to. So I set my goal this year for 62 books. I'm not even really sure how I came up with that. I think I did something like, okay, that will be like a book a week, add 10 is kind of like how I did that. The problem is, I've been listening to audiobooks. I've been listening to this Flame and Fortune book, but I'm kind of like, I like listen to a ton of it one day and then none of it the next day. So I really got to have, like, February and the end of January is going to have to be, like, this huge reading thing for me. And I do have a TBR reading plan, which I think if I'm, like, on a structured reading plan, that might be better for me right now. So, because I have to read the book for True Crime Book Club, and I have to read the book for Peter's Book Club in the next week, which means I also have to announce, Mel and I are going to be announcing the book for True Crime Book Club here in the next probably couple days or week. And then I will also be announcing the book for Peter's Book Club for February. So that will be coming in the next week as well. So anyway, so my goal for the next year is 62. If I make it to 62, my goal for 2024 will be 100. I'm going to go back to 100 and then we'll try. I might actually do like 105 and set my goal as high, the highest it's ever been, and see what I can do. But for right now, I want to see if I can get to 62 books this year, and that's my goal. So in the comment section below, what I want you to do is put what your goal is for 2023. Let me know. Let me know if you're participating in the Goodreads goal. And yeah, so anyway, I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.